देखेंगे सेक्शन 148। सेक्शन 148 है कॉस्ट रिकॉर्ड एंड कॉस्ट ऑडिट के बारे में, जिसमें कॉस्ट रिकॉर्ड है सेक्शन 148 सब सेक्शन 1 में बोलता है सीजी में बाय ऑर्डर इन रिस्पेक्ट ऑफ सच कंपनी engage in production or prescribed of goods or providing prescribed services direct that particulars relating to material, labor or other items of goods shall be included in the books of accounts. Rule 3 of Companies Cost Record of and Audit Rules 2014 क्या कहता है? Companies including foreign company engage in production of goods or providing services as specified. रेगुलेटेड सेक्टर है जैसे टेलीकम्युनिकेशन, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, पेट्रोलियम, शुगर, ड्रग्स एंड फार्मा, फर्टिलाइजर्स। नॉन रेगुलेटेड सेक्टर है आयरन, स्टील, रबर, सीमेंट एट्सेट्रा। इन सब का अगर टर्न ओवर ग्रेटर देन इक्वल टू 35 करोड़ है ड्यूरिंग इमीडिएटली प्रीसीडिंग फाइनेंशियल ईयर, तो इन लोगों को कॉस्ट रिकॉर्ड मेंटेन करना पड़ेगा बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स में। Every company under this rule shall in respect of each of its financial year maintain cost record in form CRA 1 में। रूल 5 कहता है कि कॉस्ट रिकॉर्ड मेंटेन करना पड़ेगा CRA 1 में। फिर उसके बाद है कुछ रिक्वायरमेंट है। सेक्शन 148 सब सेक्शन 2 कहता है CG में बी ऑर्डर डायरेक्ट फॉर द ऑडिट of cost record of companies covered under section 148 subsection 1 having prescribed net worth or turnover in a manner prescribed in that order. Rule 4 of Companies Cost Record and Audit Rule 2014 cost records are required to be audited if overall annual turnover from all product and services in immediately preceding financial year in case of regulated sector greater than equal to 50 crore or non-regulated sector greater than equal to 100 crore and aggregated turnover of individual product or services regulated sector में greater than equal to 25 crore और non-regulated में greater than equal to 35 crore aggregated है, तो requirement of cost audit shall not, तो इन सब पे कॉस्ट ऑडिट लगेगा। और कुछ एक्सेप्शन दिया हुआ है कि रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ कॉस्ट ऑडिट शैल नॉट अप्लाई टू कंपनी हुज रेवेन्यू फ्रॉम एक्सपोर्ट इन फॉरेन एक्सचेंज एक्सीड 75% ऑफ इट्स टोटल रेवेन्यू और विच इज़ ऑपरेटिंग फ्रॉम SEZ, जो SEZ में ऑपरेट कर रहा है उस पर भी नहीं लगेगा, और जो इंगेज है इन जनरेटिंग ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिसिटी फॉर कैप्टिव कंजम्पशन उस पर भी नहीं लगेगा। फिर दिया कॉस्ट ऑडिटर के बारे में। Cost audit shall be conducted by cost accountant appointed by board of director in prescribed manner. No person appointed under section 139 as an auditor shall be appointed as cost auditor. Rule 6 of Companies Cost Record and Audit Rule 2014 cost auditor shall be appointed within 180 days of commencement of every financial year. Before appointment, written consent and certificate be obtained. Company shall inform the cost auditor of his appointment. Company shall file a notice with CG in form CRA 2 within 30 days of board meeting or within 180 days or commencement of financial year, whichever is earlier. Cost auditor appointed as such shall continue till expiry of 180 days of closure of financial year or till submission of cost audit report. Cost statement shall be appointed by board of director before being signed by any director on behalf of board for submission to cost auditor. फिर cost audit report के बारे में है। सेक्शन 148 subsection 5 and section 148 subsection 6 cost auditor shall submit his report to board of director. Company shall within 30 days of date of receipt of report furnish such report to CG along with full information and explanation. Rule 6 of Companies Cost Record and Audit Rule 2014 cost auditor shall submit cost audit report in form CRA 3. Cost auditor shall forward duly signed report to board of director within 180 days from the closure of financial year. Report along with information and explanation to shall be furnished to CG in form CRA 4 in XBRL format. ये था कॉस्ट रिकॉर्ड्स एंड ऑडिट्स के बारे में। फिर आगे वाले चार्ट में हमारा है ब्रांच ऑडिट के बारे में, जो सेक्शन 143 सबसेक्शन 8 एंड रूल 12 बताता है। तो ब्रांच ऑडिट क्या है? ब्रांच ऑफिस देखेंगे पहले। ब्रांच ऑफिस इन रिलेशन टू कंपनी मीन्स एनी एस्टैब्लिशमेंट्स डिस्क्राइब एज सच बाय द कंपनी। Person eligible to appointed as branch auditor, Indian branch, company auditor, and other person qualified for appointment as auditor as per section 141. और foreign branch में company auditor and other person qualified for appointment as auditor as per section 141 and other person qualified for appointment as auditor in accordance with the law of that country. फिर ड्यूटीज़ ऑफ ब्रांच ऑडिटर क्या है? प्रिपेयर अ रिपोर्ट ऑन द अकाउंट ऑफ द ब्रांच examined by him and send it to the auditor of the company who shall deal with it in his report in such manner as he consider necessary. फिर duties and power of the company auditor with reference to the audit of the branch and the branch auditor, rule 12. The duties and power of the company auditor with reference to audit of the branch and the branch auditor, if any, shall be as contained in subsection 1 to 4 of section 143. The branch auditor shall submit his report to the company's auditor. The provision regarding reporting of fraud by the auditor shall also extend to such branch auditor to the extent it relate to concerned branch. फिर गाइडेंस नोट ऑन IFCR दिया हुआ है। मीनिंग ऑफ इंटरनेशनल फाइनेंशियल कंट्रोल, सेक्शन 134 ऑफ कंपनीज एक्ट 2013. Policy and procedure adopted by company for ensuring orderly and efficient conduct of its business, including adherence to company policy, safeguarding of its assets, prevention and detection of fraud and error, accuracy and completeness of accounting records, and timely preparation of reliable financial information. फिर है मीनिंग एंड कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ इंटरनल कंट्रोल ओवर फाइनेंशियल रिपोर्टिंग। क्या मीनिंग है? A process designed to provide reasonable assurance regarding the reliability of financial reporting and the preparation of financial statement for external purpose in accordance with GAAP. Companies IFC over financial reporting include those policy and procedure which pertain to the maintenance of record that in reasonable detail accurately and fairly reflect the transaction and disposition of the assets. It provides reasonable assurance that transactions are recorded as necessary to permit preparation of financial statement in accordance with GAAP, and receipt and expenditure of company are being made only in accordance with authorization of management and direction of the company. It provides reasonable assurance regarding prevention or timely detection of unauthorized acquisition, use or disposition of company's assets that could have a material effect on financial statement. फिर रिपोर्टिंग रिक्वायरमेंट, सेक्शन 134. In the case of listed company, the director responsibility state that director have laid down IFC to be followed by company and that such control are adequate and operating effectively. Section 143 कहता है auditors report should also state whether the company has adequate IFC system in place and operating effectiveness of such control. सेक्शन 177 कहता है ऑडिट कमेटी में कॉल फॉर कमेंट ऑफ ऑडिटर अबाउट इंटरनल कंट्रोल सिस्टम बिफोर देयर सबमिशन टू बोर्ड एंड मे ऑल्सो डिस्कस एनी रिलेटेड इशू विद द इंटरनल एंड स्टैट्यूटरी ऑडिटर एंड द मैनेजमेंट कंपनी. फिर शेड्यूल 4 कहता है द इंडिपेंडेंट डायरेक्टर शुड सेटिस्फाई देमसेल्फ ऑन द इंटीग्रिटी ऑफ फाइनेंशियल इंफॉर्मेशन एंड ensure that financial control and system risk management are robust and defensible. Rule 8 of Companies Account Rule 2014 के the director report should contain details in respect of adequacy of internal financial control and reference to financial report. फिर उसके बाद है हमारा अकाउंट्स ऑफ कंपनी, सेक्शन 128, सेक्शन 129 एंड सेक्शन 129A. पहले देखेंगे 128, place of keeping books of account. Every company shall prepare and keep at its register office books of account and other relevant books and paper and financial statement for every financial year, which gives a true and fair view of the state of affairs of the company. Books shall be kept on accrual basis and according to the double entry system. Books of accounts and other relevant paper may be kept at such other place in India as the board may decide, and in such case company shall within 7 days file with register a notice in writing giving full address of that other place. We are keeping books of accounts at branch. Where a company has a branch office in India, for outside India, the books of account relating to transaction effected at the branch office may be kept at that office. Periodic summarized return are required to be sent by branch office to company at its register office or the other place as decided by board. Here are preservation of books of account. Books of account relating to a period of not less than 8 financial year immediately preceding a financial year, or where the company had been in existence for period less than 8 years in respect of all preceding year, together with the voucher relevant to any entry in such books of account, shall be kept in good order. Where an investigation has been ordered in respect of company, the CG may direct that books of account may be kept for such longer period as it may deem fit. With section 129 have form of financial statement. The financial statement shall give a true and fair view of the state of affairs of the company, comply with AS notified under section 133, and shall be in form as provided in schedule 3. जो फॉर्म शेड्यूल 3 में दिया गया है उस फॉर्म के अकॉर्डिंग फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट प्रोवाइड किया जाएगा. दीज प्रोविजन शेल नॉट अप्लाई टू एनी इंश्योरेंस, बैंकिंग, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी एंड अदर. ये प्रोविज़न इस कंपनी पे नहीं अप्लाई होगा क्योंकि इस कंपनी का अलग फॉर्मेट होता है, अपना अपना फॉर्मेट होता है अपने एक्ट के हिसाब से. फॉर विच अ फॉर्म ऑफ फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट हैज़ बीन स्पेसिफाइड इन अंडर द एक्ट गवर्निंग इन सच क्लास ऑफ कंपनी. Laying financial statement in AGM. At every AGM of company, the board shall lay before such meeting financial statement for the financial year. Consolidated financial statement हम अलग से CFS वाले चैप्टर में कवर होगा. Non compliance with AS. Where financial statement of a company do not comply with AS, company shall disclose in its financial statement the following: the deviation from the accounting standard, the reason for such deviation, and the financial effect, if any, arising out of such deviation. फिर section 129A periodical financial result. The CG may require such class or classes of unlisted companies as may be prescribed to prepare the financial result of the company on such periodical basis and in such form as may be prescribed, to obtain approval of the board of director and complete audit or limited review of such periodical financial result in such manner as may be prescribed, and file a copy with the registrar within a period of 30 days of completion of relevant period with such fee as may be prescribed. The financial statement with a small company, dormant company, may not include CFS. फिर आगे हमारा है अकाउंट्स ऑफ कंपनीज के बारे में ही. सेक्शन 130, सेक्शन 131, सेक्शन 134. सेक्शन 130 है रीओपनिंग ऑफ अकाउंट्स ऑन कोर्ट्स और ट्रिब्यूनल ऑर्डर. रीओपनिंग ऑफ अकाउंट्स होगा कोर्ट या फिर ट्रिब्यूनल के ऑर्डर पर. Order by court or tribunal, a company shall not reopen its books of account and not recast its financial statement unless application in this regard is made by CG, income tax authorities, SEBI, any other statutory regulatory body or authority or any person concerned. An order is made by a court of competent jurisdiction or the tribunal. Nature of order made by court or tribunal. Order is made by court or tribunal to the effect that the relevant earlier account were prepared in a fraudulent manner, or the affairs of the company were mismanaged during the relevant period, casting a doubt on the reliability of financial statement. Requirement before passing the order. Court or tribunal shall give notice to CG, income tax authorities, SEBI, or any other statutory regulatory body or authority concerned, or any other person concerned, and shall take into consideration the representation of any made by that government or authority, SEBI, or body or authority concerned, or the other person concerned before passing any order under this section. The accounts so revised or recast under section 130 shall be final. Limitation to revision. No order shall be made under section 130 in respect of reopening of books of account relating to a period of earlier than 8 financial year immediately preceding the current financial year. However, where a direction has been issued by CG for keeping the books of account for a period longer than 8 years, the books of account may be ordered to be reopened within such longer period. फिर सेक्शन 131 है वॉलेंटरी रिवीजन ऑफ फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट और बोर्ड report. If it appears to the director of company that financial statement of the company or the report of the board do not comply with the provision of section 129 or section 134, they may prepare revised financial statement or a revised report in respect of any of the 3 preceding financial year after obtaining approval of the tribunal on an application made by the company in such form and manner as may be prescribed, and a copy of the order passed by the tribunal shall be filed with the registrar. Section 134. Signing of financial statement. Financial statement including consolidated financial statement before submission to auditor for his report thereon shall be signed on behalf of the board at least by the chairperson of the company, where he is authorized by the board, or by 2 directors, out of which one shall be MD and CEO if he is the director of the company, CFO and CS of the company wherever they are appointed. In the case of one person company, only by one director. Attachment of auditor report. The auditor's report shall be attached to every financial statement. Director's responsibility statement. The director responsibility statement shall state the following: that in the preparation of annual account applicable AS has been followed along with proper explanation relating to material departure, that the director had selected such accounting policy and applied them consistently and made judgment and estimate that are reasonable and prudent so as to give a true and fair view of the state of affairs and that of the profit and loss, that the director had taken proper and sufficient care for maintenance of adequate accounting record in accordance with the provision of this act for safeguarding the assets of the company and for preventing and detecting fraud and other irregularities, that the directors had prepared the annual account on a going concern basis, that the director in the case of listed company had laid down IFC to be followed by company and that such IFC are adequate and were operating effectively, that the director had devised proper system to ensure compliance with the provision of all applicable law and that such system were adequate and operating effectively. Accounts of the company section 132 and NAFRA rule 2018. ये NAFRA के बारे में है. Section 132 subsection 1 and section 132 subsection 2. The constitution of NAFRA by CG. The CG may by notification constitute a national financial reporting authority to provide for matter relating to accounting and auditing standard under this act. Function of NAFRA. Notwithstanding anything contained in any other law for the time being enforced, the NAFRA shall make recommendation to CG on formulation and laying down of accounting and auditing policy and standard for adoption by companies or class of companies or their auditor as the case may be. Monitor and enforcing the compliance with accounting standard and auditing standard in such manner as may be prescribed. Oversee the quality of services of professional associated with ensuring compliance with such a standard and suggest measures required for improvement in quality of service and such other related matter as may be prescribed, and perform such other function relating to clauses A, B and C as may be prescribed. फिर power of NAFRA. Power to investigate into matters of professional or other misconduct. NAFRA shall have the power to investigate either suo motu or on a reference made to it by CJ for such class of bodies, corporate or person, in such manner as may be prescribed into the matter of professional or other misconduct committed by any member or firm of Chartered Accountants registered under the Chartered Accountant Act 1949. Power of Civil Court. NAFRA shall have the same power as are vested in the Civil Court under the Code of Civil Procedure 1908 in respect of certain matters. Power to impose penalty. Where professional or other misconduct is proved, NAFRA shall have the power to make order for imposing penalty of not less than 1 lakh but which may extend to 5 lakh of the fee received in case of individual, and not less than 5 lakh but which may extend to 10 times of fee received in case of firm, debarring the member or the firm from being appointed as auditor or internal auditor undertaking any audit in respect to financial statement or internal audit of function and activity of any company or body corporate, performing any valuation as provided under section 247 for a minimum period of 6 months or such higher period not exceeding 10 years as may be determined by NAFRA. फिर Rule 3 of NAFRA Rule 2018 classes of companies and body corporate governed by NAFRA. NAFRA shall have power to monitor and enforce compliance with AS and SA, oversee quality of service under section 132 subsection 2 or undertake investigate under section 132 subsection 4 of auditor of following class of companies and body corporate, namely companies whose securities are listed on any stock exchange, unlisted public company having paid up share capital not less than 500 crore or having annual turnover of not less than 1000 crore or having in turnover outstanding loan, debenture and deposit of not less than 500 crore as on the 31st March of immediately preceding financial year, or insurance company, banking company, company engaged in generation or supply of electricity, companies governed by any special act for the time being force, any body corporate or company or person on a reference made to the authority by the CG in public interest and body corporate registered outside India which is subsidiary or associate of any company or body corporate incorporated in India as referred to in clause A to D if income or net worth of such subsidiary or associate exceed 20% of consolidated income or consolidated net worth of such company or the body corporate as the case may be referred to in clause A to D. Every body corporate other than company as defined in section 220 formed in India and governed under this rule shall within 15 days of appointment of auditor under section 139 subsection 1 inform the authority in form NAFRA 1 the particulars of auditor appointed by such body corporate. A company or a body corporate other than company governed under this rule shall continue to be governed by authority for a period of 3 years after it ceases to be listed or its paid up capital or turnover or aggregate of loan, debenture and deposit fall below the limit stated therein. फिर उसके बाद है अकाउंट्स ऑफ कंपनीज में ही नफरा रूल 2018 रूल 5 एंड 6 ऑफ नफरा रूल बोलता है एनुअल रिटर्न के बारे में. एवरी ऑडिटर रेफर टू इन रूल 3 सेल फाइल अ रिटर्न Every auditor referred to in Rule 3 shall file a return with the authority on or before 30th November every year in Form NAFRA 2. Recommending AS and SA Rule 6. For purpose of recommending AS and SA for approval by CG, the NAFRA shall receive recommendation from the ICAI on proposal for new accounting standard or auditing standard or for amendment to existing accounting standard or auditing standard may seek additional information from this ICAI on the recommendation received under clause A if required. The authority shall consider the recommendation and additional information in such manner as it deem fit before making recommendation to CG. Rule 8 of NAFRA Rule 2018 Monitoring and enforcing compliance with auditing standard. For the purpose of monitoring and enforcing compliance with SA under the Act by company or company corporate governed under Rule 3, the NAFRA may review working paper including audit plan and other audit document and communication related to audit, evaluate the sufficiency of quality control system of the auditor and the manner of documentation of the system by the auditor, and perform such other testing of audit supervisory and quality control procedure of the auditor as may be considered necessary. NAFRA may require as auditor to report on its governance practices, and internal process designed to promote audit quality, protect its reputation, and reduce risk, including risk of failure of the auditor. NAFRA may seek additional information or may require the personal presence of the auditor for seeking additional information or explanation. NAFRA shall perform its monitoring and enforcement activity through its officer or expert with sufficient experience in audit of the relevant industry. NAFRA shall publish its findings relating to non-compliance on its website and in such other manner as it consider fit, unless it has reason not to do so in the public interest and it record the reason in writing. NAFRA shall not publish proprietary or confidential information unless it has reason to do so in public interest and it record the reason in writing. NAFRA may send a separate report containing proprietary or confidential information to CG for its information. Where the NAFRA find or has reason to believe that any law or professional or other standard has or may have been violated by an auditor, it may decide on the further course of investigation or enforcement action through its connected device. फिर रूल 9 and 13 of NAFRA रूल 2018 है जो बोलता है ओवरसीइंग द क्वालिटी ऑफ सर्विस एंड सजेस्टिंग मेजर फॉर इम्प्रूवमेंट. रूल 9. On basis of its review, NAFRA may direct an auditor to take measures for improvement of audit quality, including changes in audit process, quality control and audit report, and specify a detailed plan with time limit. It shall be the duty of auditor to make the required improvement and send a report to NAFRA explaining how it has complied with the directive made by NAFRA. NAFRA shall monitor the improvement made by the auditor and take such action as it deems fit. NAFRA may refer cases with regard to overseeing the quality of service of auditor to QRB constituted under the CA Act 1949. NAFRA may take the assistance of expert for its oversight and monitoring activities. Punishment in case of non-compliance. Rule 13. If company or any officer of a company or an auditor or any other person contravene any of the provision of this rule, the company and other officer of the company who is in a default or the auditor or such other person shall be published as per the provision of section 450 of the act fine which may extend to 10,000 and where the contravention is continue one with the further fine which may extend to 1,000 for every day after the first during which the contravention continue. फिर हमारा लास्ट चार्ट आता है ऑडिट ऑफ LLP जो कि सेक्शन 34 ऑफ LLP एक्ट 2008 एंड रूल 24 ऑफ LLP रूल 2009 बताता है. तो स्टैच्यूटरी प्रोविज़न रिलेटेड टू बुक्स क्या है. बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट सेक्शन 34 LLP shall maintain prescribed books relating to its affairs for each year. Books may be maintained on cash or accrual basis as per double entry system. Books shall be maintained at register office for prescribed period. फिर रूल 24 ऑफ LLP रूल 2009 कहता है द बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट shall contain particulars of all sums of money received and expended, a record of assets and liability, a statement of cost of goods purchased, inventory, WIP, finished goods and cost of goods sold, and other particulars which partner may decide. Books shall be preserved for 8 years from the date on which they are made. Statement of accounts and solvency. Every LLP shall within a period of 6 months from the end of each financial year prepare a statement of accounts and solvency for the said financial year and such statement shall be signed by designated partner of the LLP. Statement of accounts and solvency shall be filed with the registrar in Form 8 within a period of 30 days from the end of 6 months of the financial year. फिर स्टैच्यूटरी प्रोविजन रिलेटेड टू ऑडिट सेक्शन 24 ऑफ द LLP रूल 2009 रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ ऑडिट LLP whose turnover does not exceed in any financial year rupees 40 lakh or whose contribution does not exceed 25 lakh shall not be required to get its account audited. If partner decided to get the account of such LLP audited, the account shall be audited in accordance with this rule. Eligibility for auditor. A person shall not be qualified for appointment as an auditor of LLP unless he is a CA in practice. Period of appointment. Auditor of LLP shall be appointed for such financial year for the LLP for auditing its account. Appointment of auditor by designated partner. The designated partner may appoint an auditor at any time for the first financial year, but before the end of first financial year, at least 30 days prior to the end of each financial year other than first financial year, to fill a casual vacancy, including in case when the turnover or contribution of LLP exceeds the limit, or to fill up the vacancy causes by removal of auditor. Appointment of auditor by partner. Partners may appoint an auditor where the designated partner have power to appoint and have failed to appoint. Tenure of auditor. Auditor shall hold office in accordance with the terms of his appointment and shall continue to hold office till the period of new auditor appointed and they are reappointed, जब तक reappoint नहीं हो जाता है. एडवांटेज पर्पस नीड ऑफ ऑडिट क्या है? डिटेक्शन ऑफ एरर एंड फ्रॉड. डिटेक्ट कर सकते हैं हम लोग एरर और फ्रॉड को. वेरिफिकेशन ऑफ फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट का वेरिफिकेशन हो सकता है. रिजॉल्विंग डिस्प्यूट अमॉन्ग द पार्टनर इन रिलेशन टू अकाउंटिंग मैटर्स. अगर एलएलपी का हम लोग ऑडिट करवाते हैं तो उसका हम लोग ये हो सकता है कि अमॉन्ग पार्टनर्स के बीच अगर कोई डिस्प्यूट होता है तो उसका रिजोल्यूशन हो सकता है अगर ऑडिटेड रहता है तो. अरेंजिंग फाइनेंशियल फ्रॉम बैंक एंड एफआई. Improve management of LLP. Settlement of account between partners at time of admission, death, retirement, insolvency, insanity, etc. फिर है auditor's duties with respect to audit of LLP. Obtain instruction in writing as to work to be performed. Read the LLP agreement and note the following. Nature of business of LLP देखेंगे. Capital contribution by each partner देखेंगे कितना कितना है. Interest in respect of capital contribution देखेंगे. Interest का rate कितना है. Duration of participation देखेंगे. ड्राइंग अलाउड टू दी पार्टनर देखेंगे कितना अलाउड है ड्राइंग. सैलरी कमीशन एक्सेट्रा पेबल टू पार्टनर देखेंगे कितना कितना है. राइट्स एंड ड्यूटीज ऑफ पार्टनर देखेंगे क्या है. मेथड ऑफ सेटलमेंट ऑफ अकाउंट्स बिटवीन पार्टनर्स एट द टाइम ऑफ एडमिशन रिटायरमेंट एडमिशन देखेंगे क्या मेथड लगाया गया है. एनी लोन एंड एडवांस बाय द पार्टनर देखेंगे क्या लिया कितना कितना लिया गया है. प्रॉफिट शेयरिंग रेशियो देखेंगे क्या है. ऑडिटर शुड रिपोर्ट वेदर द रिकॉर्ड रिफ्लेक्ट ट्रू एंड फेयर व्यू, वेदर द ऑब्टेन all information explanation, whether any rectification limitation imposed upon him. If minutes book is being maintained, auditor shall refer it for any resolution passed regarding the accounts. ये था ऑडिट ऑफ एलएलपी. तो ये पूरा हमारा ख़त्म होता है कंपनी ऑडिट हमारा सारा कंप्लीट होता है. सो थैंक यू सो मच गाइज फॉर वॉचिंग दिस वीडियो.